music to my ears. So good. Is this lighting okay? Probably should get a coaster. Let me be responsible. I do have like 500 coasters in my house. I don't know why. Like, there's really no good reason, but okay. He just fell asleep. He was not asleep when I opened that coat. Oh. Okay, we're gonna hope for the best. Hello, you guys. What is up? Welcome back to my channel. I've got my phone and an extra battery here. Welcome to the 2023 recap video. I need to put this down so I'm not fidgeting with it. I think I like that lighting a little bit better. So, 2023. I have made a yearly recap video, I believe since 2017 or 2018. I think it was really 2018 that my first recap video came out, but I'm not sure. I would just have to look back on my YouTube channel. Actually, I'll link to all my other recap videos down below in case you guys want to see the evolution of Cathrin Manning. I did not film a recap video last year though, which really bums me out. I didn't even know until about a week ago when I went back to look and I was like, I shared nothing. And 2022 was a huge year for me. I mean, the last few years have just been absolutely massive. 2020 is really when the growth of my YouTube channel happened. I saw the most growth within my YouTube channel in 2020. That's also when I separated from my ex and I went through all of that processing of like being cheated on and lied to, and gosh, there was a lot within that relationship. And then 2021 was my first year of being single, becoming a single homeowner. And I watched that recap video and just looking at my face, because if you guys have been with me, my struggle with perioral dermatitis, like I knew it was bad when I was in it, but now like this, I don't even have any mascara. I've got nothing, literally nothing on my face right now. Seeing my face now and then seeing my face then, like I'm really proud of myself that I continued to create videos during that time because I was so self-conscious. I won't say that. I was gonna say I don't think I've had a worse self-image, but I don't think that's true. Just like in terms of my face though, like I've never felt more insecure, more self-conscious, and the fact that I continued to vlog that whole year, like I had my vlog channel then, did I not? And I had my main YouTube channel. I was pushing out 30 videos a week and my face was exploding. I entered into the dating world that year. I had some personal stuff happen to family members that was just like really, really heartbreaking. But gosh, I even had some stuff happen to me that was really... Anyway, that was the last recap video. Last year I didn't create one. I'm very bummed with myself. This year we're creating one again. And I just want to start this video by apologizing. For one, for the fact that I know I'm going to cry my whole entire way through this video. But I really pulled away from you guys this year. And I felt it. And I'm sure you guys felt it. And I feel like I let myself down this year. And I actually talked about this on my Instagram stories a while ago. But I just had some stuff happen that really caused me to isolate. I got to the point where I just felt like I was better off alone. And if I just kept to myself and I just stayed in my own bubble and I didn't let anyone in, that I would be happier, because then that protected me from more bad things happening, more people hurting me. And that's not fair to you guys. Like, I have built my brand on my vulnerability and just sharing my life with you guys, like the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, I shared a lot with you guys, and obviously there's things that I've kept private, especially when it comes to my family and stuff that happens to other family members, like that's not for me to share, but like my life I can share with you guys. And I've always had just this insane community, this raw connection, and my engagement has always been so freaking high. Like absolutely impossible for me to respond to every single comment, every single DM, because like my YouTube videos used to get 300 comments like within a day. And I maybe responded to, this is like giving myself some grace because I've responded to 10 comments this morning. I responded to like maybe 100 comments this whole entire year. Because I just couldn't, like I could create videos because it felt like I was talking to myself and I wanted to document for myself, but otherwise I like couldn't have community this year, which sucks. Really sucks. Because I know I hurt my brand like crazy. And it wasn't fair to you guys, the fact that I did that. So I'm sorry. But this year was a hell of a year. I know I've said that a lot, but this year, it's funny looking back at 2020, like that recap video, I said this was the worst year of my life personally and the best year of my life professionally. This was one of the worst years of my life personally and one of the worst years of my life professionally. And I created a reel. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, I shared a reel that said, I have never felt more misunderstood, alone. I think I said unloved and like a failure. And I think there was something else in there. And in reality, it's because I allowed myself to feel that way. And that just breaks my heart. I should give a trigger warning. I'm definitely going to talk about mental health in this video. And I guess I just want to be like real and honest with you guys. I'm going to talk about suicide. This year, I have never been more suicidal in my life. And quite literally, if it wasn't for being pregnant, if it wasn't for my son, like I am not sure if I would be here. It was a really, really fucking hard year. So, let's take back to the beginning. I found out I was pregnant December 29th, 2022. Wow, get years together. And I obviously told my man, and that was it. In January, I decided to tell Cameron, so I think I was like 6 weeks pregnant when I told Cameron. And otherwise, it did not feel real to me, the fact that I was pregnant. It was very easy for me to continue creating videos the way that I was, to go about my other relationships with family and friends, like acting like nothing was going on, because it did not feel real. Like I just felt sick sometimes. I was more tired, but otherwise, like I felt totally normal. So it wasn't until I actually had my first doctor's appointment at I think I was 9 weeks pregnant that I had my first doctor's appointment. And I saw like on the ultrasound that there was a baby in my belly, like wild, that I then decided to tell my sister. And I still waited for a long time. I wanted to be out of my first trimester, a little bit more so in this safe zone before I told anybody else. So I waited until my birthday and I told my mom. And then 2 days later, something happened. And everything just spiraled ever since. I was asked why I didn't, or actually, honestly, at the time I was asked when I was going to share a video of like telling my family and friends that I was pregnant. And I just said, oh, I'm not creating that video. And the reason why is because it was very difficult. Oh, I'm really debating how honest I want to be in this video. My therapist and I made a joke about it. But I really felt like I was 16 and pregnant and knocked up by some random man I met at a concert, and we did it in a bathroom stall. Like, that's how I felt. That is how the news was received. And it's really hard when 3 super influential people in your life say some really, really effed up things to you. You know, I'm so grateful for the relationship that I've built with my dad over these last few years, because genuinely, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for Cameron, if it wasn't for my man, if it wasn't for the fact that I was pregnant, I don't think I would have made it through this year, like I said. But it sucks because some things had happened. And by the time I got around to telling my dad that I was pregnant, I called him bawling, thinking that he wasn't gonna love me. And that sucks. Because if anything, my dad has been one of the most supportive people in my life. Like, when I called him to tell him that my ex and I had split, he said, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" And then immediately, like without a thought, he said, "It doesn't matter, what do you need?" And that's the type of person my dad has always been. Like, I called to tell him that I was pregnant and I was crying, and I like felt like I let him down. And he immediately said, "Congratulations." And it's just wild to think, like, a few years ago, my dad and I did not have a relationship at all, and now I don't know what I would do without his relationship. Like, I just really admire him and like the way that he's shown up for me in my life. I mean, you guys know how much he's shown up for me in this house, but he's just a great guy, and we are so freaking similar. That's one of the things I've learned the closer we get, is like, we are incredibly, incredibly similar. And I'm just really grateful for him, because even I was going to spend Thanksgiving alone. I mean, it was going to be me and little man. And I knew Thanksgiving was going to be a really, really tough day. Like, I told my man, I was like, expect me to cry all day. Like, it's going to be a rough day. My dad actually came and visited me that weekend before to meet his grandson. And my stepmom was here too. And they just kind of left the door open for Thanksgiving. So my dad left on Monday. And I ended up calling him Monday night and was like, "Hey, can we actually come for Thanksgiving?" And I left on Tuesday, and I spent Thanksgiving with him. And that's the first Thanksgiving I've spent with him since my parents were together. It's been a really, really long time. But yeah, I had like heartbreak, in a sense, happen in March. And it just like kept getting worse and worse. May is like kind of when it hit a point where I literally just, that's when I isolated. That's when I shut down. That's when I went into my shell and I said, everyone's kind of cut from my life. And it sucks because like there were so many good people. Like, I've got this one high school friend, Becca, who keeps reaching out to me. And like, I can't be the friend that like I know she deserves. And like, I can't be the person that I know I can be, because even people asking me this year, like, how are you doing? I didn't want to burden other people, but I also didn't want to lie and be like, fucking shitty. Really, really shitty. Barely keeping my head above water. It was so tough. It was really freaking brutal. So yeah, I felt really alone this year. I mean, quite frankly, I was alone because my man and I were long distance, and there was a good chunk of time where like we couldn't see each other, and then when we could see each other, I was traveling a lot to see him, and I never even shared that with you guys, but like I was gone a good bit there. And then I ended up getting to a point where I couldn't travel anymore because I was so far along in my pregnancy. It was a freaking miracle that he was able to be here for the birth. And even then, he left the day our son was born. And I'm so grateful for the people in the hospital. Gosh, I'm grateful for Cameron. Cameron showed up in my life in a way that no other friend has. She's a good one. Like I hate that she moved to New York. I'm so proud of her for doing it, but dang, we're gonna be so far apart and that just sucks. And I'm like more of the friend where it's like I like getting together. I'm not a big texter. It's just not who I am. But she was there the day our son was born. So she met him. He was only a few hours old, which is so cool. My mom showed up the following day. But the people in the hospital were so great. They were amazing. Honestly, I will say my hospital stay was pretty fantastic. Because most people have both parents there when the kid is born, so you can order 2 meals. So even though it was just me, they still let me order 2 meals for every single meal. So I ate like a freaking king. I ate so well in the hospital. It was great. Taking care of him was honestly pretty easy. There was one night where I really didn't get a lot of sleep and he had to get tests and stuff done. So they had to take him to do the tests and stuff. And that's like when I was able to get some sleep. But hospital stay wasn't bad. First week bringing him home, I had my mom here and I cried every single day. Not because of baby blues, not because of him, but because I never expected to go through that season of my life without someone. And you know, relationship breakups are hard. Friendship breakups can be much harder. And even then, when I was going through my breakup with my ex, I had a different therapist at the time. And they said, it's like processing a death. That person has been in your life for so long and now they're no longer in your life. And like, yes, they're still alive, they're still out there, but it's processing a death. And that's what I had to go through this year. Grieving someone while they're still alive really isn't easy. And the amount of times my therapist and I talked about how I'm like, I felt like I kept making progress and then I would go backward. And it was like, the anger would hit me so freaking hard some days where I just wanted to scream. Like I just wanted to lose my mind. And then other days I would just be so incredibly sad and then I would be totally fine. And it was really a freaking roller coaster. It was so difficult. And I truly know that I was blessed with an easy pregnancy. I loved being pregnant. I thrived being pregnant. Like I really had a good pregnancy. But I know I was blessed with an easy pregnancy because the universe or somebody knew that there were going to be far harder battles thrown my way during that season. And even then, I have such a chill kid. Like, he is so chill. When I was at my dad's for Thanksgiving, my stepmom kept saying, you would have no idea there's a baby in this house. You would have no idea. Like, Cathrin, he's such a chill baby. He is such a chill baby. And I know he's such a chill baby because of all of this other shit. It's like, there's so much else that I've had to go through that has been hard. So it was like, here's one easy thing. I also think a lot of it is mindset though, because I mean, I've always looked forward to being pregnant and being a mom. Like this, quite literally when I started my brand in 2016, one of the reasons was because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also wanted to work. And at the time, remote jobs like weren't nearly as popular as they are now. Like really COVID shifted that needle. Obviously there's a lot of people that are back in the office, but still at the time I was like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to be as present as possible. I want to like come up with all the activities and like do all the things with, I love kids so much. So it was like when I have my own kids, like that's what I want to do. But I also wanted to have my own career in a sense. And I built this up so that quite literally I could do that. And now here I am. And I just love that kid so much. But yeah, anyways, where were we at? We were at March. I haven't even drank my Coke. I took like one sip. March, life exploded. It was up until May when it like really, really hit its peak. I couldn't even tell you what happened in June. What happened in June? I don't know. I think I was planning a workshop tour. Quite literally, one of the reasons the workshop tour was planned was that I had an excuse to get out of something else. Which is funny, I didn't tell Cameron until like the very last day that I was like, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this at the time frame that we did this is because Cameron knows everything. So like I told her and she was like, are you kidding me? Because Cameron, I would say she doesn't avoid stuff as much as I do, where I am a hardcore avoider. So workshop tour was planned. We did a workshop tour. That was so much fun. I loved workshop tour. That was an absolute blast. But I did that up until I think I came home, and that's when I hit, or it was, I think it was the day that we came home that I hit 33 weeks pregnant. And then it was really like, I could drive a certain distance at that time, but otherwise my doctor said no more flying. She said I could do a trip to like Dallas or something to see my dad. It was like really short flights that she was like, it's fine with, but otherwise I was like, I'm not flying anywhere. Because then usually it's like 36 weeks that they fully cut off travel so that you're close to your hospital and ready for anything. And then at 39 weeks, he was born. So that, I mean, July was workshop tour. August, I think I was really just at home. September, he was born. And then I feel like, honestly, like once he was born, that first week, again, was really, really tough for me. But then going forward, like, honestly, like, he was so easy from day one. Like, he's really just been like the most chill kid in the world. But I had started my maternity leave a little bit early. So then by the time he was born, I was ready to film. Like I was so ready to get back into my content, back into the groove of things. Like I needed something for myself. And because he was such a good napper when he was a baby, like a newborn, he would sleep 3 hours totally fine on his own. And I was like, what am I to do during these times? Like I puzzled. I ended up watching movies. I chilled out the whole first week. And it's like, I know your body's healing. I know your body's doing a lot. But I am such a mover and groover. I am such a need to be doing something person that I was bored out of my mind. I was like, I can't sit around and chill anymore. Like I need to do something. So I started vlogging pretty quickly thereafter, getting my YouTube videos up once a week. I wasn't really sticking to an uploading schedule, but I also decided that I wanted to do a reel challenge. So I wanted to post every single day on Instagram for 30 days. I didn't end up making it the whole way to 30 days, but that really kickstarted my consistency. Sorry, the lighting is actually going away with here. With short form content. And I feel like I found my groove. I feel like I finally found my stride in this new form of content that I'm creating. If you've been here for a while, you know that my YouTube channel really blew up when I was talking about how to grow on YouTube, and I was sharing my experience and things I had learned along the way. And then I decided to hard pivot out of there, and I shared a lot of this house. Like that was really like my niche, was like this house. And I felt really, really lost ever since 2020, when I was like killing it with my content, and I was just like really proud of the stuff that I was putting out there, and I like loved the content I was creating. I feel like ever since 2020 I've been super lost in my content. Like even when I was sharing renovation videos, I still just like wasn't loving it that much. Like I liked it, but I really wasn't loving it. My pregnancy announcement series, I think, was the most fun I've had with content in a while. And then my home renovation videos that I've been doing. So like the nursery video was so much fun to do. Even this bedroom video, I liked doing that one, like the 48-hour, the spare bedroom, sorry, it's like right behind me. That one was so much fun to do. My office video, I can't believe that took off, because quite frankly, like my office was half done, and I still look at it and I'm just not inspired by that space, and I need to do something else with it. I really think I want to wallpaper the whole entire thing. That's a topic for another day. But it's like, I'm also moving, so like, why am I continuing to do all this stuff? Anyway, I found the joy in my content again. I was sharing like the one nap at a time series, and doing daily vlogs, and like sharing motherhood and like how I'm prioritizing myself and getting out of the house every single day. Like I really feel like I felt a stride with my content. And even then I changed my profile during that time to more so reflect like what I'm doing now on Instagram, that is. So it says create a life you love. That's always been my, is that? Yes, literally on me right now. Then it says transforming my lake house one nap at a time, new mama, everyday vlogs, prioritizing me. And that's like really where I feel like I finally narrowed down like what I'm creating now, because it was so difficult. I just like so desperately wanted to be out of the YouTube space and be like, no, like I'm something, I ran into things to share. Like I just honestly, like I had no other strategies, no other tips to share. So I like hard pivoted into like the home renovation, and it was just home renovation. And I didn't know how to be anything else but home renovation. And now I finally feel like I've got like my 3 pillars almost again. What did I say? New mama, everyday vlogs, prioritizing me. Okay, those aren't really my 3 pillars, but like still it gives you like some general concept of what I'm doing. And I've really fallen back in love with my content for the first time in a damn long time. And I've been uploading to shorts a lot more ever since October. I've been uploading a ton more to shorts, and I'm actually seeing really good results over there, and I'm very happy about that. I've been uploading a lot more on Instagram, and I don't really use hashtags or anything, and I really don't use a lot of like trending audio. So like I could be seeing more growth on Instagram if I tried, but I've been having a lot more fun with my content, and it feels the most me I think my content's felt in a really, really long time. It's been, looping back, I'm freaking all over the place in this video. Looping back to that reel that I created where I said I've never felt more misunderstood. I know I created a video on my channel, sorry, my nose is like running, talking about being a people pleaser and like the things I've learned in therapy being a people pleaser. This year, I felt the most not confident in myself that I felt in a long time, that I really let other people's opinions of me, other people's actions affect me just being me. And I felt that come through with my content in the sense that I would post a video and like, yeah, I was isolating, but I also just like didn't want to read comments because I was like, is this even me? like, do I even resonate with what I'm putting out there? Like, I haven't even gone back through and watched any videos this year because it just like almost didn't feel authentic to me. I don't know. It really didn't, like, until he was born. And then I feel like I felt the most myself in my content. And even like the little renovation, the One Nap at a Time series, I have loved doing, like, my basement makeover. I have loved doing that. And like the voiceovers and stuff, like, I feel the most me in my content that I felt in a really, really long time. And that feels good. And I have also, like, really drawn inspiration from other creators that I've found recently that show up so unapologetically themselves. Like, I don't even know how the heck they do it. I just don't, it's the people pleaser in me. That's exactly what it is. It's just like wanting, just say it. It's wanting to be loved from people that I feel like should love me, but I have to work so damn hard for their love. That's one of the things I realized this year, is that love has not been easily given. I have had to work so hard for love. And that's not the way it should be. It's just not. It's just... If anything, this year, because of therapy, I've really uncovered a lot of deep things that I think I've been avoiding for a long time. And I've had some almost trauma, definitely trauma, be brought to the surface that I had no idea was there. And trying to work through some of that while also being pregnant, becoming a new mom, grieving, like I was talking about, and like dealing with gosh awful things that were said to me this year, done. I don't want to say done to me this year, but like done to me this year. It's been tough. It's been really effing tough. And I lost myself. And it wasn't until I became a mom, like he was actually born in this world outside of my body, that I feel like I found myself. And I don't know, I see a lot on social media, moms sharing like in the first several months they lose themselves, and I totally freaking get it, okay? I'm still not sleeping through the night over here. We're going through currently a little sleep regression, and it's driving me a little bit crazy, but you know what, I'm doing fine. I understand how you can lose yourself, because like your whole identity is caring for and keeping this being alive that you love so dang much, and like your whole world is flipped upside down. But I truly think having him allowed me to step a little bit more so into my confidence. It's given me more of a motivation to work hard within my business. And I guess I didn't even really talk about my business all that much. But, you know, this was a very, very tough year for my business. I ended up having to drop my salary to like a quarter of what it was, which is crazy. But the first several months of the year, so I actually had my highest earning month in January, because I had 2 sponsorships that didn't pay out in December of last year, paid out in January of this year. And I used that money to fund my retirement and fund my individual stock portfolio. If I would have known that this year there wouldn't have been as many sponsorships, this year I would have taken such a hit in my ads revenue as well. I would not have invested all that money. I would have invested all that money in my retirement account. I still would have done that. But like my individual stocks portfolio, I think I should have held more into my savings, because for the first few months, I was not meeting my own payroll. So all of the business, what? All of the money from my business goes into my business bank account. So like my ads revenue, my affiliate marketing, my sponsorships, everything goes directly into my business bank account. And then I am a salaried employee from my business. My salary used to be a quarter of what I was making. Okay, so it used to be relatively small, but even then, my salary, like the money that was coming out of my business bank account compared to the money that was deposited in my personal bank account, the money that was coming out was higher because that was including all of the payroll taxes and stuff. So then the money that was then, you know, if you've had a paycheck, you know, seeing like, oh, the money you should be getting, but in reality, there's all of these taxes, and then it's like, this is the money you actually get. Like that's what was happening there. So I actually wasn't making enough in my business to meet my salary. So there were some months there where I was hustling my ass off to make any little bit more money so that I could meet my salary. Now I had enough in my business bank account. I was like, my oh shoot, we can run into this. And it got down to my oh shoot, I think was down to like $8,000, which I understand was still a good chunk of change, but that wasn't realistically going to last me much longer with the expenses within my business, with what my salary was, that I had to almost accept defeat in a sense. And I reached out to my CPA and I was like, hey, this is what's going on with my business right now. Like we really need to drop my salary. And we dramatically overcompensated because how much I was paying in taxes before was a lot, that I had almost paid all of my taxes for the whole entire year already based off of my new projection of what I was going to be making this year. So we ended up shifting my payroll. So now my payroll is less than my mortgage. It's a lot, okay? So I feel like financially, I can't fucking complain. And I'm not complaining here by any means. I just like want to be honest with you guys about what's going on in my business because I've shared this stuff so many years previously. But the fact that my payroll is now less than my mortgage and like how I have had to be pretty financially smart with the dramatic shift that has happened in my business, it's been stressful. It's definitely been stressful. And it's just been different this year. Quite frankly, like the creator economy, this start of the year with the talks of the recession and everything else, a lot of companies weren't doing sponsorships, especially with bigger creators. They were doing smaller creators because then it was smaller paydays type thing, smaller budgets. But bigger creators really took a huge hit with sponsorships, especially this first half of the year. Second half of the year, I talked to some creators and they saw dramatic improvement. I didn't see a ton of improvement. I mean, I only had 2 sponsorships this year. I worked with Epidemic Sound, which I've worked with since 2020. And then Healthy Choice, I had a sponsorship on Instagram, which was actually really cool because I've never done solely a sponsorship on Instagram before. I've always had like YouTube is primary and then they just like add on Instagram as just like an extra little bonus part of the deal, but I've never had a company want to do just Instagram. So seeing that my reels were actually working and that like a company wanted to work with me was like really, really cool. But yeah, no, sponsorships took a huge freaking hit this year, to the point where I was a few weeks postpartum and I had to have a meeting with my management being like, what the hell's going on? Like my business can't continue like this. This is not good. So yeah, financially this year was not great for my business. Still can't complain. You know, I am still so incredibly blessed. And a few years ago, if I would have known like I was making this much money this year, like that would have absolutely blown me away. And I can cover my mortgage and I can cover all my bills and like I'm still making enough money to live and survive. And like you guys see, even like buy paint for the basement, you know, like it's been different. Like this will be my first year out of the last few years that I can't max out my retirement account. And it's just different. So yeah, I think this conversation all started because having him like re-inspire me within my business type thing. It's like, I want to work as hard as I can. I want to set him up in a sense and also just like make him really proud. You know, I very much so want to show him that you can have a career that you love. You can do really well for yourself. You can enjoy your life, and like finding like the business and life balance and whatever. Like I feel like I just have like a new motivation with him here, and that's been a blessing, but it's also been difficult to find time to work. Okay. Yeah, when he was a newborn, he slept great. 3-hour naps, killing it. Right now, the fact that he is still asleep, I am incredibly impressed, because I've been talking for an effing lifetime here. I need to wrap this up here soon. But he went through a huge Velcro baby phase where he could not sleep anywhere unless it was on me. And that was definitely challenging, especially because I want to respect him and his wishes, whatever they are going to be in the future. Like, I don't want to just like make all of my content about him, and I am very aware of not like putting his whole face. Like, you guys see his side profile and sometimes like his face is like a little bit cut off, whatever. A little bit of him I'm fine with, but like I don't want all of my content to just be him. So then when he was going through the huge like Velcro baby phase, it was like very hard for me to find time for work. And even just like figuring out this new balance, I know it's going to be such a big thing this following year. And I was responding to some comments today, and 2 people mentioned like, it's gonna get so much harder. Like once he's running around, someone actually said once he's on his feet. And I was like, yeah, no, once he's crawling, okay? I understand this is gonna get so much harder. Like, he is immobile right now. It's easy. It's gonna get much harder for me to find these little pockets of time to work, but I'll do it. And my man and I have talked about hiring help a few days a week, so that like I can have a couple of hours where he is tended to and I can get some work done, and then otherwise like I can continue to be my stay-at-home mom self. But yeah, that was a doozy. You guys still with me? Are you still watching this? Why are you watching this? I very much so went into this like, this is gonna just be a FaceTime catch up with a friend. Like, I don't want to overthink it. I was originally going to come in here with like notes of like, this is what happened in January, and I went to Arizona, and this is what happened in February, and I don't even know what happened in February. Like, I was planning all this out, or in my head I was. And then I was like, you know what, I just want to like talk to a friend and let it be what it is. So even though this was a really, really tough year for me personally, obviously, it was a good year. You know, like my freaking son was born. I'm a mother. That shit's crazy. I got to meet so many of you guys in person this year. And even like I went into this year with the intention of meeting you guys in person. And it's funny how like things manifest, because then I had the Cameron and I had the meet and greet here in Birmingham, and then we ended up doing workshop tour together. But I ended up meeting someone. Oh my gosh, I was at my favorite sushi spot. And funny enough, his wife ends up following me. So like we were passing each other. I was going in, he was coming out, and I like sat down. He ended up coming back in and was like, I'm sorry, are you Cathrin Manning? We FaceTimed his wife. Crazy. So that was cool. I was at the dog park and I met someone that wasn't a subscriber but had seen my YouTube videos before. And then I was randomly at Target one morning. Again, I was coming in the store, someone was coming out. And the fact that they were in Birmingham, Alabama, like they were from Florida. They were here for, you don't need to know their personal life. The fact that happened, like it was weird, but it was cool. And even that person in Target, they were like seeing your transformation, like going through your heartbreak with my relationship and like where I'm at now. They were like, it's so inspiring seeing you. And yeah, it was cool meeting you guys this year. Obviously my son being born, incredibly cool experience. Loved pregnancy, loved his birth, minus that one situation that happened during labor. And besides the fact of being in labor for so damn long, because that was not a lot of fun. But I am glad that 2023 is over, quite frankly. And I'm excited for 2024. You know, all of the things I've been seeing on Instagram, because Instagram never lies, is that 2024 is going to be an amazing year, a transformative year. A lot of accounts I saw share that 2023 was almost a survival year compared to 2024 is a thriving year. And that's what I'm really hoping for, is to thrive this year. I know this year is going to bring about a lot of change with moving and adjusting to a new location. And you guys, I still don't even know when I'm moving, so don't even ask me. It's just, that's been like a major stressor on me. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if I have anything else to say other than I really hope to be more active with you guys this year. I really want to get back in my comments and like create more of a community and feel more connected to you guys, because this year I feel like I was really creating LOL for me, and just to like keep my head afloat, just to like find some little bit of joy, some little bit of happiness. That's why I feel like I was creating this year, and I mean, quite frankly, make some money, because like we all need to make money. Like, this is literally my job. Like, I need to do my job. But I was really talking to myself in my YouTube videos last year instead of like really talking to you guys and even creating for you guys. And I'm sure you felt that. I felt it hard, bad. But anyway, thanks for sticking with me. Can't believe I've been doing this for so long. This year will be my 8th year, which is wild. But I'm really hoping to get back to more so my roots of just like raw vulnerability of sharing my life. We'll see how that goes. But I love you guys. I hope you had a great new year. And here's to a better 2024.